So I found this post on the Pokey Investing subreddit that I wanted to share with you all. So in this video, I'm just going to read the comments from this post. It's just asking about people's takes for the 2026 Pokemon market because as of right now, the market obviously is not as crazy as it used to be. It's cooling off. I mean, everyone knows that. So the question they're asking is, what do you think the 2026 market will look like with additional sets dropping plus the anniversary set? It's kind of funny because I remember in the beginning of this year, so many people were so confident that the 2026 market would be bigger than how it is, I guess, or how it was then. And look at it now. It looks like all the confidence has completely diminished from people, and people are, scared. And you see that with people on these subreddits, how they react, and you see maybe a lot of people panic selling. It's a thing, 100%. But we'll see what some people have to say here. So this first person says, depends on overall economy and crypto slash stock market. If there's no political drama and both markets consistently trend up again, Pokemon market could do well. So, I've always been sort of, skeptical and sort of a critic of people that, correlate the crypto market and the stock market, to the Pokemon market because, I mean, they're very different if you really think about, okay, crypto and stocks and Pokemon, right? It's like, how can they be related to each other? And I always really was on the boat that they're not strongly correlated, but I mean, if you look at what's gone on in the past couple months, they kind of have trended the exact same way. Crypto market down, stock market, sort of down, and Pokemon market, what's happened also? It's been down. So maybe they are more correlated than I thought. So if that is the case where they are pretty, heavily correlated, then if that happens and the crypto stock market everything is good in next year, then possibly the Pokemon market can do well. But who knows? Maybe they're still separate, and maybe the crypto and stock market do well next year, and maybe Pokemon doesn't. But who knows? Next comment. I reckon it'll keep correcting hard as stocks and crypto crash, and also Pokemon card fatigue sets in as people start to get burned out with all the new sets, struggling to find product and overspending. Also, Phantasmal Flames the weak set, carried only by Charizard. Next couple sets are Dragonite and Greninja, so I think they're a bit average. People start easing off on buying. eBay's full of all the Charizard Mega product. I personally given up buying singles. Can't justify spending hundreds on modern stuff. It's unsustainable for the average person. So I want to speak on this because they say some things here that I don't necessarily agree with. So obviously, saying that it's going to keep crashing, I mean, that's just your own opinion, prediction, whatever, right? It doesn't really matter. But I've literally been hearing this since the bull market started. People saying that people will get burned out with the new sets. They'll get, tired of struggling to find product, overspending on, I guess, the new stuff. Everybody is selling. You can see here they're saying eBay's full of the Charizards mega product. Everyone's reducing their prices. This person says they've given up buying stuff because it's too expensive. They can't justify spending hundreds on modern hits. I mean, this is literally the argument that's been said for like a year now. People saying, "Oh, everything's too expensive. Just wait, no one can afford this stuff. Everyone's gonna stop buying." But people have been saying that. Like, maybe is this the tipping point a year into this? Maybe it's going to start showing signs that maybe this is true, possibly. But I think this argument that people make is so overused and stated. I get there's people that can't spend hundreds of dollars on booster boxes, on packs. Like, I get it, but people use this too much as an argument of why the Pokemon market is going to go down. I don't think it's a strong argument because, I mean, it's just been going on for, like a year now. And this problem definitely applies, like where people can't afford this stuff, but people use it too much as of a reasoning that the whole market is going to go down. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think there's going to be other reasons other than just people are fatigued of Pokemon or whatever. I mean, that can happen, but I think it's a little bit of a overstated, overused reasoning where everything's too expensive and they can't afford it, because this has been said forever now. In my experience, the peak of this current boom cycle has already passed. New releases might still be hard to find on shelves, but market sentiment for collectibles is weakening. My sales have drastically cooled since early summer. Honestly, that's a fair take. As of right now, it seems that way, right? The peak, I think, honestly, and you guys can let me know what you think about this as well. I personally think the peak was Prismatic Evolutions. Destined Rivals, like was very strong, but I truly believe the craziness, the social aspect of the whole Pokemon space where everyone's talking about it, I truly believe was prismatic. Do you guys agree with that? Because I know the market was still strong after that set, but I truly believe that was the crazy part and the crazy peak. It was prismatic. That's just my opinion, because all the sets that came after, Journey Together was kind of eh. Destined Rivals obviously was pretty popular, but it wasn't nearly like as crazy as Prismatic Release. Black Bolt White Flare was kind of, it was even, honestly, in my opinion, maybe even worse than Journey Together, kind of somehow. And Mega Evolution was strong, but the craziness of Prismatic was nothing I've ever seen. So that's my opinion, sort of the peak in terms of the whole Pokemon space being talked about and the news and everything, was Prismatic Release, January of this year. This person says, I'm noticing a lot more local stores have a ton of stock days after release now, but that's because the pricing has gotten so insane. People are refusing to buy now. Once again, I mean, this argument that everything's too expensive, I mean, it's all relative, right? I mean, if things were expensive, when the bull market first started, when booster box like Surging Sparks was $160, yeah, I think $300 is still expensive to you, but it's all relative. People still buy, but there's some people maybe that are getting priced out now, but I truly believe it's still overstated. Don't listen to any of these people. Okay, this person's, I guess, the genius here. This is just a simple correction. It happens all the time. Many people have been saying since 2021, the market is not sustainable. The bubble will pop, but has it really? Pokemon is now treated like stocks. People compare it to the S&P 500. Remember, stocks are volatile. They always fluctuate. Same with Pokemon. So I don't really agree with this. Just right off the bat, what they're saying here. So many people have been saying this since 2021, that the current market is not sustainable. Yeah, it kind of happened. Do you guys remember what happened early Scarlet and Violet, when Scarlet and Violet base was released? Do you guys remember what happened? Booster boxes at one point, Black Friday sale, were $80. I made a video about that. Scarlet and Violet booster boxes just were $90, $100. So the market it didn't pop, but it definitely went down. I mean, that happened. So the market hasn't been strong since 2021. That is not true at all. It's been strong since exactly basically a year ago, since Surging Sparks, not 2021. So that's not true. And this is another thing that I don't like people comparing. This to stocks, guys. I've literally talked about this before. Stocks and Pokemon, it should not be compared. Like, they're so different. I'll never agree with that comparison. Anyone trying to say, oh, well, the Wall Street Journal compared it to stocks. They're not comparing the actual asset, the thing. Like, they're the same thing. They're comparing like gains, but that's not a thing to be like, okay, they're the same. They're not the same at all. Like, I don't agree with that. So I don't really agree with this person. Still hard to find product on shelves, but OfferUp and Marketplace is just flooded with new product. That's been a thing though, since Prismatic and forward. I like it since I've been buying Surging Sparks booster boxes for $200, but no one's paying top dollar for product. Yeah, I've been finding on Facebook Marketplace, honestly, I don't even look anymore because I'm not looking to buy anything. But Surging Sparks booster boxes you can buy for $200 on Facebook Marketplace. That's a fact. Perfect Storm, overall economy does bad. Pokemon overprints due to past demand, and markets flooded with product. Everything retraces harder, and we have 2021, 2022 again. Might pick up with the 30th depending on how good it goes. That's just how I see it. If stocks, crypto goes up, Pokemon will probably come back, but slower growth. I sort of agree with this. Here, this person says just keep buying. I don't know if Pokemon has enough steam to do another run similar to what we just experienced, but to see some positive movement again is somewhat expected with Mega Gengar and the Mega Ray. There's a Rayquaza coming, leading to the celebratory set. Other than that, having a more normal, not extremely crazy anniversary release is somewhat welcome. Do expect for the market to be flat after. Okay, it seems like I agree with this person. So, what do you guys think about the market in 2026? Sort of talked about it a little bit. Later, I might talk and make a video discussing sort of, I guess, some of the takes here. Yeah, a lot of ways you can see the market, but it's super unpredictable. We are at the lowest point in the market we've ever been in this bull market, and yeah, we'll see what happens next year. So many people called for 2026 to be crazy, but seems like a lot of that confidence has gone now. But that's all I want to say in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.